फ्री करता जा रहा, फ्री करता जा रहा, फ्री करता जा रहा। करना चाहिए, नहीं करना चाहिए फ्री।
इनका लक्ष्य है समाज में नफरत फैलाना।
दोस्त देने वाली नहीं, दिशा देने वाली सरकार।
बटन यहाँ बाबतपुर में दबे, करंट शाहीन बाग।
बेरोजगारी के लिए अरविंद केजरीवाल ने क्या किया?
दिल्ली में भाजपा का
हाथ खड़े करके बता देना।
Hello and welcome. The countdown has begun to one of the battles of the year. That's right, the battle for Delhi, a prestige fight, because this is where you have the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP President Amit Shah investing their political capital in a city-state that the BJP hasn't ruled for 21 years. Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party, it's a battle for survival. At 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, the voting begins. Who will win the battle for Delhi? This is where we will bring you the X factors, the answers to all the big questions that you've been waiting for an answer from. Who will win the battle for Delhi? We're going to get experts who've been tracking this on the field and analysts to give us their opinion. I'm joined today by Ankit Tyagi, our senior editor who's been tracking this election for weeks now. Manisha Priyam, political analyst and one of the country's foremost political analysts. I'm also joined by Preeti Chaudhary, who's been on a mobike through the streets of Delhi. Not an easy task, I can promise you. Javed Ansari, the evergreen senior editor, joins us, someone who's known this city for decades now. And Rahul Srivastav, our national affairs editor, and again, someone with a lot of experience in tracking elections. What's at stake in this battle in Delhi? Before we come to that, I want to take you to where we stand in this election today. And I'm going to go to a magic wall that we've created for this election to give you a sense as to how this battle could play out in Delhi. Remember, Delhi has been a city-state since 1993, got its statehood in a sense, not full statehood, but enough for it to have its own assembly. And over the years, the Delhi voter has tended to surprise. None more so than what the Delhi voter did in February of 2015. Because in a moment, I'm going to take you deep down into what happened in that historic election. That's the only way to describe what happened in February 2015. So let's go down into the Delhi Assembly and see for ourselves how the numbers played out in that election. Take a look at the Delhi. This was the election where we had what many describe was a virtual wave. As I go down now into that Delhi Assembly, let's look at the numbers as they played out. Remember, Delhi in that election saw Arvind Kejriwal really revive himself as a politician. And let's take a look at how the numbers played out in the Delhi Assembly in that election. Take a look first at the Vidhan Sabha. 67 out of 70. This was the Kejriwal tsunami, barely 6 months after Narendra Modi and the BJP had triumphed in the general elections. But that's not the only story, because fast forward to May 2019 and the Lok Sabha. Remember, this is the assembly vote share first of 2015, 54% is what the AAP got. But in the Delhi Lok Sabha of 2019, the AAP was blanked out, they got 0. The BJP swept all the 7 Lok Sabha seats. And the voting percentage of the BJP was as high as 57%. In fact, the BJP led in 65 of the 70 segments, the Congress in 5, the AAP was blanked out. So the first question that one would ask is, what are we going to see in this election? Will it be an assembly-like situation of 2015 or a Lok Sabha-like situation of 2019? Those are some of the X factors that we will examine over the course of the next 45 minutes or so. Let's turn to the first X factor. The first X factor of this election is Kejriwal himself. Is Arvind Kejriwal the key factor of this election? And the question I want to pose is very direct. Kejriwal versus who? Remember, when an opinion poll was conducted by CSDS, take a look at what that showed. That clearly showed that the number of people who supported Arvind Kejriwal were far in excess of anyone else. There was the Kejriwal factor. Just take a look at those numbers of the number of people who felt that Kejriwal was the key factor of those elections. Harshvardhan and all the other BJP candidates paled out in comparison in this election. I also want to play, before I come to my panelists, what Kejriwal said when I asked him this question and what Manoj Tiwari, the Delhi BJP president, had said in response. Listen in.
नरेंद्र मोदी जी तो इस्तीफा देके दिल्ली नहीं आएंगे ना मुख्यमंत्री बनने के लिए,
पर उनका
जनता का हक तो बनता है ये जानने का कि भाई अगर हम आपको वोट दें तो वो कौन मुख्यमंत्री बनेगा। जनता के इसका तो जवाब चाहिए ना लोगों को।
हमारा चेहरा कमल है,
चेहरा कमल है,
अभी चेहरा कमल है। बीजेपी जो कहती है वो करती है।
Let's therefore then look at whether this will be a factor in the elections. Is it Kejriwal versus who? Is this a presidential election? Ankit Tyagi, you've been tracking Arvind Kejriwal for weeks, months, years now. Is that how he has positioned this election? Like Modi did in 2019, he's made it Kejriwal versus who? Then there is Modi only. Now there is Kejriwal only. Is that how he's seeing this Delhi election?
Precisely how Arvind Kejriwal has positioned himself, Rajdeep, in this election. And he has picked up a lot of things from Narendra Modi's 2019 campaign. Who versus Narendra Modi was the question that the BJP was asking from the opposition. Arvind Kejriwal is trying to do the same. There are two major factors, in fact, for that. Number one, of course, is Arvind Kejriwal's popularity as the chief minister. And also, he doesn't want this battle to become a battle between Arvind Kejriwal and Narendra Modi. He tried that formula after the elections of 2015 when he wanted to go national. He could not find any dividends in that, and he has come back to only Delhi and focusing on himself. Thirdly, he believes that there is a lot of voter, about 10 to 12% voter in Delhi, who would possibly go and vote for Narendra Modi in the Lok Sabha election, but they want to vote for Arvind Kejriwal because they don't have any option in the BJP.
That's an interesting factor that many people who've gone in the field keep seeing. It's the same voter who said, I voted for Narendra Modi in the Lok Sabha, turns around and said, Lekin Vidhan Sabha ke liye I may vote for Arvind Kejriwal. Did you see that on the road? Was there a clear distinction, or was there an income level distinction that the lower incomes were more likely to say that than the higher income and the middle classes?
No, those are two very separate facts, Rajdeep. So, the income level, yes, he's been able to make inroads on the basis of income where caste hierarchy is concerned in Delhi. But let's come back to no one other than
the BJP voters. Who were the BJP voters? Was there a class of BJP voters who said we voted for Modi and will now vote for Kejriwal?
Yes, they were. They were, if you look at it, usually the upper middle class is usually seen, or the middle class is seen as a BJP voter in Delhi. And when I went about, but Rajdeep, you have to go all the way to 2014. We had an election at that point of time, if you saw, and I remember covering that election. Delhi was one of the first few states to distinguish very clearly between a state election and a national election. They did it then. You had Narendra Modi coming in with this massive majority. Then how much? 6 months down the line, you have a Kejriwal sweep. 67 seats. Delhi was one of the first to make that distinction then. And they are going to do this, at least it seems right now, because there is no one else, again Arvind Kejriwal.
Manisha Priyam, do you believe that the Delhi voter actually makes that distinction as strongly as certainly he did in 2014-15? Does history repeat itself twice so easily? Because the BJP has made a conscious effort not to repeat the mistakes of 2015. There's no Kiran Bedi. They haven't made it Kiran Bedi versus Arvind Kejriwal. They've got a very strong local unit. Amit Shah has personally invested in even Nukkad Sabhas. Is it as easy, therefore, for Arvind Kejriwal to replicate that model of Kejriwal Banam Kaun or Kejriwal versus who 5 years later?
So two things. The Delhi voter has matured beyond imagination. And therefore, if they were making a distinction in 2015, they are making it even better now with better behavior, the BJP workers who've been down on the ground in the last week or so are greeted very well, but when they depart, you see very reasoned arguments, and those are put forward very quietly as to why we will do what we will do for Delhi state within inverted commas.
So they
Number
see
one.
Delhi state as very different from the Indian state.
And they don't see this as insulting the BJP or Narendra Modi in any possible way. The second point, that the BJP itself has changed its campaign so much investment in not having the traditional Delhi faces lead the campaign, give it a certain Purvanchali flavor. In the last week or so, I have met close to 2,000 workers from Patna and UP. So the thing is that Kejriwal has understood, therefore, that they have been forced somewhat, that if they can't get to the class factor, let them get to an identity class mix and get the identity of the underclass on the ground.
Let me come to that. We'll come to this underclass identity in a moment. But Javed Ansari, your sense again, being in the field, what did you pick up? Did you pick up a distinction that the voter wants to make between Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha? Is it as easy as Kejriwal hopes? Remember, I just put out the numbers. Kejriwal led in 0 segments in the Lok Sabha. Even the Congress did better with 22% of the vote. He got just 18. Is there any change you see?
Rajdeep, it's not easy, but certainly not impossible. And anecdotal evidence would seem to suggest that Delhi's voters are poised to reward good work over hype. They will, what is at stake is whether the bullet will triumph over the ballot, or will people once again repose their faith in some good work, reward good work, or will they go for fear-mongering, hate-mongering?
No, 1 minute, 1 minute. You know, all these are all very well. The fact is, as I repeatedly said, the same Delhi voter gave Narendra Modi an overwhelming victory, Rahul Srivastav, just 7 months ago. Is that voter suddenly going to turn around and say, look, I have rewarded Mr. Modi for the work he's done at the center, now I'm going to test Arvind Kejriwal? Is he making that distinction so sharply in his mind or her mind?
Yes, Rajiv. I think when Manisha said that it's a very mature voter, I think I have always maintained it's a very transactional voter. What I get from whom. And if you see the real story, that how Delhi votes is in another layer, as you said, that in Lok Sabha, when BJP secured 56% vote, the Congress vote share was 22.4. And Congress was runners up in all of the seats, not up. So it decided that these are national parties fighting for a national election, so they made the distinction.
So you're saying AAP has built itself as a regional Delhi party.
There is another layer, Rajdeep, in it, where in MCD they choose for BJP.
May I make a
Yes,
quick
that's
point?
another layer
exactly
in Delhi elections.
How this campaign has been built. They are saying that this is not the election of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Similarly, like MCD was not the election for Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. That is being repeatedly plastered by the Aam Aadmi Party voters.
Rajdeep, only one line. Center mein Modi, state mein Kejriwal.
but
one line. Kisi se bhi pucho. Center mein Modi, state mein Kejriwal.
Okay, let me for a moment press a pause button, because we've got a lot of X factors to go through. Because the next one is the one that the BJP hopes converts this entire narrative into a very different narrative. Has Shaheen Bagh and all that has happened around it changed this election's narrative? Remember, the BJP has made every effort right through this election, especially in the last 10 days, to pitch this election in some way as an election linked to national security, linked to national issues, and making the point that Shaheen Bagh is an example of anarchy. Listening to none other than Prime Minister Modi, he's among those who's led this narrative on Shaheen Bagh. Listening to what Prime Minister Modi had to say on the campaign trail.
सिलमपुर हो, जामिया हो या फिर शाहीन बाग, बीते कई दिनों से सिटीजनशिप अमेंडमेंट बिल को लेकर प्रदर्शन हुए। क्या ये प्रदर्शन सिर्फ एक संयोग है? जी नहीं, ये संयोग नहीं, ये एक प्रयोग है। इसके पीछे राजनीति का एक ऐसा डिजाइन है जो राष्ट्र के सौहार्द को खंडित करने के इरादे रखता है। आम आदमी पार्टी और कांग्रेस राजनीति का खेल खेल रहे हैं।
जनता बिजली पानी पे वोट दे रही है। एक बीजेपी को और एक मीडिया को ऑब्सेशन हो गया है, पागलपन हो गया। 24 घंटे टीवी खोलो, उसमें बस यही चलता रहता है। जनता अपने बेसिक मुद्दों, जनता को नौकरी चाहिए, नौकरी की बात ही नहीं करते आप लोग। जनता को एम्प्लॉयमेंट चाहिए, जनता को अपना बिजली पानी चाहिए। जनता महंगाई से त्रस्त हो चुकी है, फैक्ट्रियां बंद हो रही हैं, दुकानों पे सील लग रही है, ताले लग रहे हैं।
So two clear narratives that have been pushed in this Delhi election. On the one side, you have the BJP, which is claiming this an election linked to Rashtravad nationalism. And on the other side, you have Arvind Kejriwal claiming this election is linked to the governance of Delhi, linked to issues of Bijli and Pani. Ajit Jha is joining me, editor research of India Today. You've tracked this election as well and tracked Kejriwal. Is this the binary that is being posed before the Delhi elections? Is this the X factor? Do people vote in a local election on local issues, or do they vote even in a local election on the national emotive issues like Shaheen Bagh, which could polarize the electorate on Hindu-Muslim lines?
Rajdeep, usually in India, people vote what we call dual voting. In assembly elections, they vote on local issues, and local issues are usually governance issues. Bijli, Sadak, Pani, as you pointed out. And in Delhi, I think Delhi is much more conscious of the fact that, you know, the Kejriwal government in the 5 years have done a lot for the Jhuggi Jhopadiwalas, for the lower middle class, for the working class. So that's why you see the BJP responding in a very different way. What they have done is brought all their MPs and told them to spend time in the Jhuggi Jhoparis.
They actually got, and we should tell our viewers, they got 200 MPs. Each was assigned one Jhuggi Jhopadi to go there for 4 days and do everything you could to connect with the voters. This is one of the changes they made in strategy.
Which shows that the agenda dominating the election is actually local issues.
But local issues seen through a national prism. I mean, let's be honest, Shaheen Bagh has changed the narrative of this election in the last 10 days. And it has, to some extent, pushed the Aam Aadmi Party on the back foot to the extent that the Aam Aadmi Party also had to redraw its strategy.
So where? At the bottom of the pyramid, I don't want to call them Jhuggi Jhopadiwalas because I think it's a burgeoning new middle class that's there in these unauthorized colonies. And when I spoke to them about Shaheen Bagh, they said, हम वहाँ गए नहीं हैं, पर सुना है ट्रैफिक में दिक्कत हो रही है. But elections के लिए आप पूछें, तो they come back to their muddas. And it's not
what
even
was their mudda?
Now the muddas are basically school अच्छा काम कर रहा है, हमारे लड़कों के लिए, बच्चों के लिए आगे का कोई भविष्य अब बन चुका है. इस तरह के मुद्दे हैं. It's not just कि free दे दिया. Whereas the middle class would say, oh, these people are all getting freebies. So it's a situation of the other getting the freebie. But those who are getting the freebie are looking at it as household risk smoothing.
And which is empowering them in a way.
Opportunities which are going to make them similar to us. And I imagine myself once upon a time, till class 3, going to a government school, it's a very important bridge and ladder. Remember, you need the hand of the state to be able to walk through broken ladders, and that's what's happening at the bottom of the pyramid.
But at the other side, the fact is,
at the base.
The fact is, Kejriwal Ankit was forced to change his strategy. I mean, he was very conscious of the fact that Shaheen Bagh, in a way, he didn't wade into the controversy. He was worried that if he waded into that controversy, it could become Hindu versus Muslim.
Manish Sisodia made a statement on Shaheen Bagh saying that hum Shaheen Bagh ke saath hain. That costed Manish Sisodia his rights to go out of his constituency. 10 days he has only been campaigning in his own constituency. That is how the BJP played what Manish Sisodia said. Post 25th of January, before that Arvind Kejriwal, if you speak to him, he will not want to utter the word Shaheen Bagh. But post 25th, you have seen Hanuman Chalisa, you have seen him speaking about, Temple Run. Today he went to the Hanuman Mandir and he has been saying, give me Delhi police. My hands are tied, give me Delhi police. I would have done that. BJP might have changed the goalpost for him, Rajdeep, or may have changed the field, but he had the answer right now to in fact go and take on the BJP. While the BJP is working on his vote bank, he's working on their vote bank.
But did you sense when you spoke to people, did they speak about Shaheen Bagh as an issue that concerned them? When the Prime Minister speaks that this could spread anarchy across the city, were they concerned that maybe there is something to be worried about?
Rajdeep, two ways to look at this. Before Shaheen Bagh came into play, and I'd been tracking this election on ground, came into play. The first statement on Shaheen Bagh vis-a-vis Delhi elections by the BJP was made on the 25th of January. Before that, they were talking about Bijli Pani. Now, before that, before 25th, when I would go on the ground, forget about the Aam Aadmi Party voter. I talk to the BJP voter. क्या है आपका क्या मतलब क्या माहौल है? You'll ask them, अरे मैडम क्या फायदा, पार्टी तो हार रही है. There was a perception which seemed that this was going to be an Aam Aadmi Party sweep. So the cadre, which is an essential, dyed-in-wool BJP cadre, was not enthused. So when the Shaheen Bagh hit, when every day there was, Anurag Thakur, back-to-back leaders of the BJP, suddenly the BJP cadre found its voice. They wanted, then I go back, this is 24th, I am on ground. I go back on the ground, say on the 27, 28. You go and the cadre is totally enthused. अरे सबक सिखाना है, full आके vote करेंगे. So that 32%
So
vote
you're
share,
saying Shaheen Bagh possibly has consolidated the BJP's
yes.
vote.
They didn't want to go out. Now because if they think they're losing an election,
sure, because the BJP at the end of the day, remember, has a consolidated 32 to 35% vote in Delhi, election after election. Even through troughs, the BJP has maintained a 30-35% vote, unlike the Aam Aadmi Party, which has seen major fluctuations and went down to as low as 17.5%, 17.8% in the Lok Sabha elections. Therefore, it brings me to the third X factor linked to Shaheen Bagh. Because remember, a key player in this has been Amit Shah. The question is, has Amit Shah been able to consolidate the Hindu voter? Has he played a Hindu vote bank card in a city, remember, with a 41% upper caste Hindu vote bank? Listen into Amit Shah and how he's played Shaheen Bagh.
तो मित्रों, बटन दबाओ तब इतने गुस्से के साथ दबाना कि बटन यहाँ बाबतपुर में दबे, करंट शाहीन बाग के अंदर लगे. दबाएंगे पक्का.
That is linked to the point that Preeti made. One thing is very clear. The BJP voter has been enthused in the last week. The Parvesh Vermas, the Anurag Thakurs, the Yogi Adityanaths. Have they managed to enthuse the BJP voter or not, Rahul Srivastava?
You see, it has been able to give the BJP workers on the ground some amount of voice, Rajdeep.
Something to fight for.
Something to fight for. Why I say that? See, it is when you are discussing the X factors, do not ignore the leadership factor. Arvind Kejriwal as a leader. In all the states today, if I look at it,
yes,
barring few, you have dominant leaders of parties who are ruling. Say Mamata Banerjee, you have got Nitish Kumar. Their faces. BJP lacked that. So the BJP lacked a leader, it lacked a hook. And to make up for that, the BJP had to find something which could have a wider traction appeal. BJP, and it is not by chance, the CA bill was passed, and it was part of the BJP strategy. The protests at Nadwa in Lucknow, the protest in Aligarh Muslim University, Jamia, all these are things that the BJP was banking upon. It is not that it has inadvertently been made an issue.
No, but
it was all part of the calculation.
The fact is that Amit Shah comes from the city of Ahmedabad. In Ahmedabad, he has successfully played this Hindu-Muslim model. The question is, can this model replicate in Delhi?
That's the key. But Rajiv, they have nothing else to try.
No, I agree they have nothing else to try, but let's be very clear.
They have to try this.
Is this a model that can succeed in Delhi? Is Delhi a city where you can create a consolidated upper caste Hindu vote? Look at the kind of messaging that the BJP has sent out. They've sent out a conscious message that this is an election which is linked to Hindu national identity. You agree or not? The Rashtravad. I asked Amit Shah this the other day. He said Rashtravad fail gaya hai pure Delhi mein.
Look, there is a method to what they're doing. There is a conscious effort. Now, how far that will succeed, we will only know on the 11th. There is enough and more evidence to suggest that yes, they've galvanized their voter, and like Rahul was saying, now they've suddenly found something they can fight for. But I do believe, and this is based on what I've seen on the ground, that while the BJP was down and out, nobody was talking. It is not enough to see them past the halfway mark. Let me finish. Once they have no constructive agenda, there is nothing positive they are offering, and they don't have a face. Look,
you keep saying they don't have 1 minute, sir. You keep saying they don't have a face, but they have something else. They have something else which perhaps the Aam Aadmi Party this time doesn't, Ankit. They have cadres. They have the money. They have the mobilization. Let's be very clear. Is the Aam Aadmi Party of 2020 quite the volunteer force it was in 2015? BJP tells me, please show me where you keep telling us we don't have a face. We have the cadres, the Aam Aadmi Party doesn't have the cadres. Is that true or is that a myth?
It's not the same amount of enthusiasm around particular candidates that the Aam Aadmi Party enjoyed in the 2015 election. They also agree to that fact. But by getting in Prashant Kishore, they have also been able to get a much more cohesive unit going into the election and trying to work their campaign. I just very quickly wanted to make a point about that Hindu voter, the 41% that we are talking about for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Don't forget, though, that 74 out of that 41% voted for the BJP in 2019 Lok Sabha. In the 2015 Vidhan Sabha election, Arvind Kejriwal got 6% more than the Hindu votes.
There is a sense that Arvind Kejriwal has been cleverer than most politicians in tackling the Hindu vote bank of the BJP. As Ankit said, he recites the Hanuman Chalisa publicly, has gone to Hanuman Mandir, and importantly, has tried to consciously ensure that he is not going to make this a Hindu-Muslim election at any stage. He's even avoided, in some ways, going to Muslim-dominated constituencies. He's taken a strong stand on Article 370 in line with what the government kept silent virtually on CA and NRC. Do you get the sense that Arvind Kejriwal is trying to neutralize Hindutva as a political weapon? He's saying, let's fight on my terrain, which is governance.
Yes, I think so. You know, look at his, even in the past, I mean, Raghupati Raghav Rajaram was his sort of patent song all the time, right? He used to play this factor that hum to Gandhian hai, number one. Number two, Rajdeep, every time we have done the Mood of the Nation poll, Arvind Kejriwal has come either second or third. Again, this time he was the second most popular chief minister across the country. Remember, number one was Yogi Adityanath, but there you have Arvind Kejriwal.
So you think brand Kejriwal has been built?
That's, brand Kejriwal has been built.
And we need to move on. We've got a lot of X factors.
I just want to say one thing. You know, Delhi is a city of migrants. The same migrant who's going to be, like, say, a Rajput migrant in UP will get polarized. The same person living in Delhi will say, Bijli free hai, pani free hai, Shaheen Bagh chodo.
Well, I can tell you what the BJP believes. The BJP believes a number of these migrants who come from UP and Bihar bring in the politics of their states to Delhi, and they are counting on that. So let's not completely rule it out. This is how the BJP is seeing this election. They don't believe that your migrant identity completely overwhelms your state.
5,000 workers from UP and Bihar, some of the best. I can tell you, I've seen them in 2019 Lok Sabha on Patna streets.
Rajdeep, why have people migrated from UP and Bihar to Delhi? They've migrated for a better life. Kejriwal is providing that. The BJP, unfortunately, is not.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. The fourth X factor. Will the Muslim vote be split between the AAP and the Congress? Now remember, Muslim vote in Delhi is about 14%. Arvind Kejriwal got a major chunk of it in 2015. But the Congress got the major chunk of that same vote in 2019 Lok Sabha. So it's not a vote that has stuck with Arvind Kejriwal, and if it gets split and the Congress is able to revive itself and get double digits, then the Congress could have a chance. Take a look.
पोल्यूशन से सबको नुकसान होता है, कैंसर होता है, लोग बीमार होते हैं. तो हमारे मैनिफेस्टो में हमने लिखा है 25% हमारा बजट का पोल्यूशन को मिटाने में चला जाएगा. 15,000 इलेक्ट्रिक बसेस हम आपके हवाले कर देंगे. जो हमने न्याय योजना चुनाव के समय कही थी 72,000 रुपए हर साल 5 लाख बीपीएल परिवारों को कांग्रेस पार्टी दिल्ली में दे देगी.
Rahul Gandhi, interestingly, has only entered this campaign in the last phase. Now, is the Congress a factor? And will the Congress, if it re-emerges in any form, be able to some way diminish the AAP vote? Javed Ansari, very quickly, is the Congress a factor in this election? Has the Congress given up, or has the Congress simply been unable to rise to the occasion?
Look, they are a minor player. They are at best also rans. If they improve, they might win one or two seats. I don't think they will make a dent into the AAP vote,
I don't want
because
this
those
Move on.
who do not want to vote the BJP
We'll
will
take a
make a
break.
distinction, as they've done in the past.
take a
In the last assembly elections, they voted AAP because they thought AAP would defeat the BJP. In the Lok Sabha elections of 2019, they voted overwhelmingly for the Congress because they were under the impression that the Congress would be able to stop the BJP. This time, I believe, and this is based on whatever little I've gathered, they will opt for AAP.
Their sole purpose is who will defeat the BJP.
Yes.
And they believe the AAP has the best opportunity. How many such seats are there?
9.
Ankit, out of the 70, where you believe that the Congress could be a factor that will decide who wins between the AAP and the BJP?
So overall, if you look at Delhi, there are about 21 seats where the Muslim vote bank is between 14 to 30%, out of which it largely are in the northeast and east Delhi Lok Sabha constituencies. At this point of time, and I'm just not talking about the Muslim seats, the Congress party is not fighting as a party, it's individuals. 5 or 6 seats like Gandhinagar, Silampur, Kondli, Okhla, could be the seats where the Congress could make some sort of a dent, could in fact split the vote. But Rajdeep, largely you have seen, as Ravid was saying, that the Muslim vote last time voted in the 2015 election, about 90% of the Muslim vote went to Arvind Kejriwal. Kejriwal is banking on the same phenomena because he believes that they'll be voting for a party which can defeat the BJP rather than individual seats.
You don't feel, Manisha Priyam, that somewhere Arvind Kejriwal's conscious attempt to not take on the BJP will be seen by Muslims as a betrayal? Are they, you don't see the Muslims looking at Arvind Kejriwal with an element of skepticism and suspicion?
So, the Muslim mind, I would say, is also matured. We were at Shaheen Bagh with an India Today program, and I kept asking them about the elections. They said, ये मुद्दा हमारा अलग है, ये CAA का मुद्दा है. Elections की बात आप यहाँ मत कीजिए. Means therefore that just the way the voters are distinguishing between center and state, the Muslim voter is distinguishing between what it has as a protest issue and where it's going to vote. So don't take things easily.
Are you saying
voters
that
are very mature?
As you were traveling
Very
Delhi,
mature voters.
you didn't hear anyone even speak about Sheila Dikshit with any kind of nostalgia?
No,
Here
there
is a
is.
three-time chief minister.
There
is someone who was seen as taking Delhi into a new Delhi, a new era. Are you saying that 8 years later the Congress is completely invisibilized? Did you hear people talk with any kind of fondness or any commitment to the Congress at all?
Well, Rajdeep, I covered the 2013 election, I covered the 2015 election. This time round, I have to say, to find a Congress voter in a locality is like looking for a blue-horned unicorn. You can't find one. It's that bad. And when I say it, you'll find, there are stories now today being done, and that is, what the political narrative is of, this city. Stories being done of एक मोहल्ले में एक कांग्रेस का वोटर है, and he is some 84-year-old who sticks to Indira Gandhi. But yes, now look at it. How is the Congress fighting this election? The Congress today, this election is being fought on the name of Sheila Dikshit. Look at the posters. There's Sheila Dikshit everywhere. You talk to Arvinder Singh Lovely, you talk to Alka Lamba. They are fighting this election not under Subhash Chopra. They are fighting this election under Sheila Dikshit.
See, Rajdeep, I spoke to some Congress leaders. What they said that in the last election, the Aam Aadmi Party took away nearly 15% of traditionally Congress voters. The BJP actually, compared to last election, lost only 0.8% vote in the last election. Rajdeep, the key here is, how can Congress, as Preeti is saying, talk about Sheila Dikshit after the Congress party named her as a chief minister candidate in UP?
Yes.
Exactly.
You see, Congress leaders are saying that we had a bit of a chance to evoke Sheila Dikshit, but once Congress went ahead and named her as a chief minister candidate in UP, we can't really talk about Sheila Dikshit and the legacy here in Delhi.
And obviously, when you have Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra only enter the fray in the last couple of days, you don't really expect them to take on the likes of Kejriwal and Shah, who worked on their Delhi strategy for months now. Politics has changed. I keep saying Virat Kohli in cricket, Narendra Modi, Amit Shah, and to some extent Kejriwal now have learnt that you've got to be much more competitive if you want to win elections. And that's why this election in Delhi is principally now AAP versus BJP. The Congress has really got almost invisibilized. The next X factor is what we are seeing in recent elections in the country. The difference between Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha. We touched on this at the start of the show. We want to expand it further. Take a look now at elections that have taken place in the country so far. In Haryana, in October, the BJP got 58% vote in the 2019 Lok Sabha, but in October, In the Vidhan Sabha, it came down by 23% to 36%. Take a look at what happened in Jharkhand, for example. In Jharkhand again, or indeed in Delhi as well, the BJP in 2014 Lok Sabha got 46% of the votes. The moment it was assembly, they came down by 14% to 32%. In Jharkhand too, we've seen a similar shift in the BJP's tally. In December, when the Vidhan Sabha elections took place in Jharkhand, they were almost 20% down compared to what happened in the Lok Sabha. Clearly, the voters are making that distinction. Ajit Jha, is that distinction now a uniform pattern in Indian elections, where you vote very differently for Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha? We saw in Odisha on the same day a split ticket where Naveen Patnaik gets the majority in the Vidhan Sabha, Narendra Modi and the BJP give a fight in the Lok Sabha. What explains the split ticket? Because it's a new phenomenon. Relatively speaking, it's seemingly happening in recent elections much more sharply. Is it the Modi factor? Moment he's not a factor, the BJP voter looks at other options.
Well, Rajdeep, it actually started in the December of 2018. If you look at the three elections that happened, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh, you saw that entirely sort of going against the BJP. All the three states at that time were ruled by the BJP. So, in fact, right after that, the Lok Sabha election came, and we find, because of several factors, in this case, you know, the nationalism factor, the Pakistan factor, the entire sort of scenario changed. But right after that, again, if you look at least Jharkhand, we clearly saw that being played. In fact, the BJP not only lost Jharkhand, despite the fact that the CAA protests had already begun, the BJP lost Jharkhand in a major way. So that shows that the local factors become extremely important in assembly elections, and it has been happening a little longer than 1 year, I would argue.
You know, the CSDS poll, Manisha Priyam, post-poll survey said 1 in every 3 voters who voted for the BJP, when asked why are you voting for the BJP, said Modi in the Lok Sabha. Are we saying about a third of the BJP voter on an average now? We've taken Haryana, we've taken Jharkhand, Maharashtra was a bit less. But by and large, would you say about a third of the BJP voter is only voting because of Mr. Modi? He is both the strength of the BJP and to some extent its weakness also.
So, when in Delhi, also, same phenomena. हाँ, राष्ट्र में देश का जब सवाल आएगा, मोदी जी को देखेंगे. क्यों देखेंगे? करप्ट भ्रष्ट नहीं है, और some of the UP voters said, कुछ खराब नहीं कहले, तो नीके कहले. Neek means nice. So it means therefore that the momentum remains, and therefore people who can portray themselves to be doing, calm karenge. And the definition of what is calm. In Jharkhand, for example, strong anti-incumbency against the sitting Chief Minister Raghuvar Das, and the fact is that Amit Shahji's attempts to change the character of leadership in states, that's not benefited in Jharkhand. And I feel in Delhi, I could see something very similar. The attempt to project a Manoj Tiwari. Remember, we are not discussing. 1 minute. People are saying, we are saying कि चेहरा नहीं है. लोग कह रहे हैं कि उनका चीफ मिनिस्टर का चेहरा मनोज तिवारी है, जो मैच नहीं करता है केजरीवाल से.
You know, but the
so
flip side,
counts.
the flip side is has anyone sensed any anti-incumbency against the local Aam Aadmi Party candidates?
Very little.
Is there a sense that Ankit, that the Aam Aadmi Party perhaps could suffer a bit because of the quality of their local candidates? So while Modi is the weakness when it comes to state elections for the BJP because they don't have a figure to match Mr. Modi's stature, is the Aam Aadmi Party's problem is that they've invested all their eggs also in Kejriwal's basket. And in some cases, the local MLAs, their track record over the last 5 years will come under close scrutiny.
Absolutely, and that is why 16 of the 67 MLAs were in fact not repeated by Arvind Kejriwal. And according to him, it is based on a survey. But Rajdeep, if you go by Delhi election, if this election doesn't become about delivery and face of Arvind Kejriwal, the first point that we were talking about, then on 70 seat, if you go by seat, then the BJP has an advantage of about a 32% voter. That does gives BJP an edge. And with Narendra Modi's popularity, it could have been an incremental voter. Arvind Kejriwal is making this election, that is why, about himself. Don't vote for me. He's used the same trick that Prime Minister Modi used. If you press the button for Kamal, it comes to me. It doesn't go to my candidate. candidate. I am responsible
So
for that. He's
basically,
saying the same thing.
Kejriwal, more than anyone else, seems to have borrowed from the Modi playbook, and that extends to choice of candidates, the manner in which he's run the campaign, use of social media, the kind of videos where he's asking people to, in a way, directly communicate with him, almost in a sense sidelining. It doesn't matter who the candidate is, there is Kejriwal only. The Tico factor, as we might well call it, like the Timo factor in the Vidhan Sabha. There's one last X factor, and many believe that this could, in terms of the real divides of Delhi, hold the key. Do the poor and low income classes decide Delhi's future? Not those who live in Lutyens, Delhi, and not those who live in the big bungalows of Delhi. Do you get a sense, Rahul Srivastav, that, you know, that really is the real divide? Unlike a UP where caste plays a much greater role, in a Delhi election, income levels play a far greater role than even caste.
See, Rajiv, I don't know.
Or community.
You know, Delhi made it difficult last time. Once somebody wins 67 out of the 70 seats, where is the caste, community?
That was a wave election. Are you saying this could be another wave election?
What I'm saying that has a lot changed. Few things have changed. When we say that the BJP cadre is more galvanized, last time it was sleeping. Because of Kiran Bedi's last minute being presented as the chief minister's face, several old cadres said, we are not going to be part of this election. This time it's different. But I think here there is definitely a divide between those who have benefited, as Manisha was saying, people for whom a government school meant that the child may not go beyond class 5 because the school didn't really mean anything to them. The mohalla clinics, the free electricity, water, he has brought a lot of tangible dividends.
So he's created a sense of a class identity that cuts through maybe caste, it doesn't cut through religion. You know, because one of the X factors that we were going to put is the Purvanchali vote. Yeah. Now, 29% of this city today claims that its origins come from Bihar and UP. Are you saying even that doesn't matter? When you spoke to people on the street, were they identifying themselves as Purvanchalis or identifying themselves as Delhiites who wanted a better life?
Identifying themselves under the class bracket.
So class identity.
Class identity.
And the class identity as reflected in Bijli, in Pani, in government schools, in Mohalla
I'll
clinics.
just give you one, you know, not just the Purvanchali, I'll give you one quick example. So 32% usually is upper caste. I went into one colony, which is a migrant colony of Rajputs. 9% Rajput vote this time round in Delhi. I asked them and I was very surprised because everybody said, yahan pe to BJP pe vote jayega. Now this is the Rajput voter, you know, one household after the other telling me, mere bacche ko free education, hamara pani ka bijli ka bill zero. So he has created a new divide, economic divide within the caste divide.
Okay, let me, we've just got a minute on the program, so I'm going to ask you, Javed, first. If Kejriwal wins, does he need to win as big as last time to establish his credentials to go beyond Delhi? Or do you believe if he even wins 50 plus, as many opinion polls have predicted, that in itself will be enough for him to be seen as a future challenger? Or is his model a Delhi-centric model? He's a Delhi leader. Don't look at it beyond.
It is largely Delhi-centric. If he wins, it will be on the back of all the work that he's done, and especially this class divide that he's created.
Is it a Delhi model?
It's a Delhi model. I do not think he has the bandwidth yet, political bandwidth, to go national.
Do you see him doing it? Remember last time he went into Punjab and that's where he tripped. Do you see him doing that again if he wins strongly?
Winning Delhi elections on a hat trick, you know, and that also if he gets more than 50 is extraordinary. And as I said, the Mood of the Nation poll captures national leaders. He's number 2 in the entire country along with Mamata Banerjee.
So you've been talking you've been talking to the Aam Aadmi Party leaders. Are they worried that the BJP could spring a surprise? The BJP seems very confident, publicly saying we will not get less than 45 seats. Is there something they know that today on this panel we don't know?
10 days back for the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal, who was saying it will be 70 this time, the target. Now they are talking about between 55 and 60. Anything less than 55, Arvind Kejriwal stays in Delhi for 5 years. Anything above 55, wait for 2 years. You'll again see Arvind Kejriwal trying to make his way back into the national scenario.
Is this election about BJP, for the BJP, simply about avoiding a respectable defeat for all the brave talk? Would 20 seats, for example, give the BJP hope for the future? Is that what they're looking at?
Absolutely.
What's your sense?
No. The BJP should come to power in Delhi. They have turned it absolutely as their naak ki ladai. nothing less than coming to power for the BJP.
There's no moral victory for the BJP.
Nothing.
There is no
Nothing.
moral
There is no
victory in
moral
elections.
victory for the
Remember,
BJP.
we haven't even spoken. They won the municipal councils, massive anti-incumbency against municipal councils. One of the factors on which Arvind Kejriwal
But
has
Rajiv,
built
there is
his
a moral
campaign.
Very quickly,
Why are their
moral in the story
councillors
is
not leading the campaign?
Arvind Kejriwal stopped attacking Narendra Modi 1 year back. I think he
More
has-
than 1 year, 2
he
years
has-
back.
He has set an example that in the face of such onslaught of right-wing campaigns, a chief minister can actually keep a profile which is different, fight on local issues, and a loss here
I beg to
will mean a
differ. You know,
lot to the BJP.
Okay, yes, my
I'd like
last word.
I'll just say if Arvind Kejriwal wins anything over 54, 55, he is going to come back very strongly on performance winning over polarization.
Absolutely.
He is going to go to town with that.
That's a nice one-liner. Performance over polarization. Or will it be the BJP's brand of identity politics versus the Kejriwal brand of identity politics? We leave it to the voters. The baton is with them. You, the voter, will decide. Janta Janardhan, you will decide who should rule this city of Delhi. Over to the voters. Thanks for joining us. Bye for now. Remember, exit poll, India Today Aaj Tak, 5 p.m. onwards on Saturday. Bye for now.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.